Pick up some dope, I need weight up on my scale. Living fairy tales, I look like a veggie tail. Living very well, I look like a wishing well. Living holy grail, we can kiss but I won't tell. I can send them straight to hell. When I walk, don't leave a trail. Foolish ass niggas know they ain't down. Foolish ass jealous ass niggas know they ain't down. Pick it back up and I kill the real shit. Schwetzie the one, but they act like I'm sick. Maybe I am, but I get it correct. I do not need to pull up with a clip. Dolo, dolo, riding in photos. When you see me, I'ma act like a promo. Get on my dick while you act like a homo. I'm in the sky, so my life looking slow-mo. Pass me the mic and I'ma kill it with no effort. Circle full of clowns, I ain't fucking with your chest hurt. Baby, I be smoking till my motherfucking chest hurt. Had to protect my heart, I be wearing hella vests. Schwetzie, I'm the best, I ain't stressed. In the nest, count a check, take a rest. Then I'm pressed, cause I'm on that fucking quest. Jealous ass niggas know they ain't down. Foolish ass, jealous ass niggas know they ain't in the stew alone, like a dog without a bone. Only time I feel at home when I write another song. Feeling like I'm busy bone, cause my flow is fully grown. Talking down on Schwetzie Stone, I'ma get you fuckers flow.
No, hey, such a no, fool. Point be a tone, nightmares at your dome, fool. Only time I feel at home when I write another song. Feeling like I'm busy bone cause my flow is fully grown. Damn, that was some real shit. But anyways, we back in this bitch. We back in the dream journal sector. Somehow I accidentally deleted my fucking thumbnail and I don't know how to get it back because I made it on fucking Chat GPT. They might have the image saved for me in that chat or some shit. I'll just have to check on that later. I didn't really feel like fucking going and doing all that at the moment because you know how I go with dreams. If I fucking sit here and goddamn waste time doing a whole bunch of other shit, watching other content and fucking dumbass shit like that, then I'm gonna fucking forget most of the dream that I just had. You know what I'm saying? So last night, obviously it is kind of late in the day. It's like fucking 11 o'clock right now. Last night I was up really late, finishing up some songs and shit. Made a verse for a feature that somebody had asked me to be on and shit. So I was finishing up that shit late last night. I was up till about 3 a.m. So I fucking ended up sleeping in a decent bit today. But I had a really fucking weird dream, you know what I'm saying? And like I told y'all, Schwetzie dream journal, this one most especially is strictly for me, you know what I'm saying? But you know, we still put this content out, let the world see it, man. This shit. We ain't gonna be on here too long. We just gonna break down this dream real quick and essentially fucking right in front of y'all's eyes decipher what I think it might possibly mean. Because still yet, like, after we explain it a little bit, it might help me see it a little bit more clearly, but still yet I don't know exactly what this dream is trying to tell me. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, first part of the dream is kind of a little bit foggy. Towards the end is the part that I really remember the most. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, fucking I was in a situation where I was in a school, but the way that I started noticing that motherfuckers was talking to me towards the end, especially the quote unquote teachers that were in the environment, it was like a school, but it was also a jail at the same time. Like we was able to leave, but it seemed like the way they was talking, we had certain cells or some shit like that. Like I don't know. It was weird the way the teachers were talking to me. But anyways, one of my teachers was this like little lesbian chick that used to actually teach me in school in real life. The other one was some chick that I worked with at McDonald's, like this older lady that I worked with. I ain't gonna say her name just for the sake of fucking we on the internet right now. She probably don't want her name to be talked on. Same with the other one. You know what I'm saying? But those were like the main two teachers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I appear in a school environment, in a fucking big ass in a big ass classroom slash school slash auditorium slash gymnasium type of space. But at first we was just walking through the hallways, and the class that I was a part of was like really fucking big. Like it wasn't like one of those typical classrooms in the area that I grew up in. Like my hometown is like a country ass area, you know what I'm saying? So classrooms around here was only like 20 to 30 kids maximum, you know what I'm saying? So and even when it came down to like the year that I graduated, the kids that were all a part of the 2018 graduating class, in real life it was only like a couple hundred motherfuckers. Like the entirety of my high school only had like probably like 1,000 people, 1,200 people. That's ninth grade all the way through 12th grade, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get it fucked up. I've lived a lot of different lifestyles. I already see people trying to piece shit together like, oh, Schwetz lived in the country his whole life. He ain't never been through shit. He don't know nothing about any type of other type of lifestyle. Nah, don't get it fucked up. That's just a piece of the story. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get into actual dream. Y'all motherfuckers don't need to know about my personal life anyways. But so yeah, we appear in some type of school setting. You know what I'm saying? And everything's like going cool at first. Like the majority of what I remember from the beginning was just us walking down the hallway, me like interacting with certain individuals who were in the same space as I was, in the same class as I was, or whatever. I don't remember what these interactions were. I don't remember what was said. I don't remember what these people look like. You know what I'm saying? I only remember it when we got into the gymnasium, in the auditorium slash gymnasium space. You know what I'm saying? It was like a big ass, it was like almost like a fucking cathedral, like big ass, high ass ceilings and fucking just a lot of space. You know what I'm saying? Like it was fucking huge. It was ain't like no gymnasium or auditorium I've seen in life before. That's I can tell you that much. But anyway, so we get to the gymnasium slash auditorium, and my perspective keeps shifting between my individual perspective and me like seeing through my vessel or whatever, and then it would shift to me being like outside of it, like up on the wall in the fucking gymnasium or some shit, and overlooking the entire like sea of people and seeing how everyone was moving and correlating themselves and shit like that. So like my perspective kept shifting from my individuality to more of a collective type of consciousness, I guess you could say. I don't really like to use that fucking word, but due to lack of better terms, that's what we gonna call it for right now. So when we get into that space, the teachers are like trying to herd everyone in a very specific type of category. You know, herd people in a very particular way. They wanted people to move in a certain way, and essentially, hold up, let me turn off my ringer for y'all because that's gonna fucking bother me. Yeah, that shit gonna get on my fucking nerves, interrupting me and shit like that. But yeah, anyways, so like I said, the teachers was trying to like herd everyone who was in this environment in a very particular manner. They wanted people to move a certain way, and the main gist of the energy that I got from this was that pretty much they wanted people to be obedient rather than being themselves and do what the fuck they wanted to do in this environment. Pretty much just like a regular school, you know what I'm saying, that you would see in life. So they was trying to have people move around a certain way, and we weren't in the auditorium slash gymnasium for a particular reason. We were kind of just there, you know what I'm saying, and they just wanted people to, okay, we're gonna piece you out in this type of way, we're gonna piece this group out in this type of way, and all the people who have this teacher need to be over here, and all the other people who have this teacher need to be over here in this sector and shit. So that's how they was trying to get people to move. But what happened with me was, I'm standing here in this grouping with a particular classroom and a particular one teacher. You get what, or particular two teachers. It was two teachers that was over my class. Like I said, it was the one that I actually had in real life, and then it was this chick that I worked with at McDonald's for some reason, like an older lady that I worked with at McDonald's. So they were wanting me to correlate with them and that class, right? But the entirety of everyone who was in the auditorium slash gymnasium were all of the same age group. Like, it wasn't like fucking I'm in the 9th grade or I'm a senior or some shit, and then all these other classes are 10th graders, 11th graders, and 9th graders, shit like that. No, like it was all the same age group. It was all the same classes, pretty much. So what happened with me was I'm sitting here in this one group, and they're trying to keep me in this one grouping, and from across the gymnasium, I see this other class and this other grouping who is like making music. You get what I'm saying? And that immediately caught my attention. Like they're over there. There was one person who was playing guitar, and they had like a singer and shit. And their class was like heavily paying attention to them, and they pretty much just got to be themselves and do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And what's it called? That shit caught my attention immediately. And I'm like, oh, I need to be over there. I don't need to be over here where the fuck I'm at. I need to be over there with the motherfuckers who's making music and having fun and shit. Like, this class is just like walking like robots and shit. And we just like all fucking stiff and just moving accordingly pretty much to how the fuck the teacher want to correlate shit. So I was like, yeah, let me separate from this fucking classroom and let me go over here to where they making music at. So I start to approach that situation where they making the music at and shit like that. And I'm like, I go to the front. Like, I don't just be in the crowd and fucking be sitting there watching and shit like that. No, I went to the very front because I wanted to see it up close and personal. You get what I'm saying? So I went to the very front, and I'm watching this dude fucking literally on electric guitar. This motherfucker was shredding the fuck out of it. Goddamn flames on his fingertips and shit. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was fucking ripping it up. So I was like, damn, that's impressive. That was badass, right? And this girl is singing. And then they had the girl that was singing, she was also playing an instrument, and there was one other person who was playing another instrument. There was a dude playing the guitar, and then the other two people who was playing instruments. It essentially looked like a big ass TV remote, or like a remote like this. You know what I'm saying? So I have no clue what the fuck this instrument was. I've never seen these instruments before. The only instrument I've seen was guitar and the vocal cord instrument. You know what I'm saying? That's the only two that I could actually identify. But this other bitch had like a giant ass fucking TV remote, and she was just sitting here like fucking spamming buttons and shit like that. But it was making like some of the most beautiful sounds ever. Like, it just all fucking fit together perfectly. And like, I can't bring myself to even hear that sound again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it only worked in a dream. Like, when I come back to real life, I can't even sit here and remember what the fuck the shit sounded like, just because it was so, it ain't like nothing I've ever heard before. Put it that way. You know what I'm saying? But she had like a giant ass TV remote instrument, and she's twanging that motherfucker out. And by the time they finished their song, I'm like, damn, like that was badass. And I'm like complimenting them and shit. And like I said, I was at the very front. I was at the centerpiece of it. So I was up there vibing and fucking dancing and shit like that. And everybody's looking at me all weird, except for the people who was playing the music. Everyone else is like, what the fuck is this kid doing? You know what I'm saying? And but the people who were doing the actual concert was like, yeah, what's up? You know, and so when they finished, I'm like, damn, like complimenting them and shit. I'm like, damn, that was fucking badass. Like, that was fucking cool as hell and all this. And I was asking her, like, what the fuck is that instrument? Like, it looks like a giant ass TV remote, right? And as they finished the concert, it's like a swarm. Like, I remember just like all the fucking people like pushed into us. You get what I'm saying? Like everyone just started just pushing towards us for some reason. And we were like surrounded and like really like close, like shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of other fucking people who were in the environment and stuff. And I'm talking to the girl because, like, I guess she was the one who impressed me the most, because she was like shredding the fucking TV remote instrument, meanwhile also singing at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, like I need to talk to her and shit. So and I think I recognize this girl. If I remember correctly, I think I recognized her. I feel like I've seen that face before somewhere, but I can't say who it is or where the fuck I know her from. You know what I mean? But I feel like I recognize that face in some type of way. So I was sitting there talking to her, and her response to me saying this to her is, you pink, ain't you? I don't know what the fuck that means, what that's meant to me. She said, you pink, ain't you? And she only said this one time. But in my mind, being green. Now, y'all know what it means to be green. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard that terminology before. That's how it like registered in my mind. I knew, because this is the thing about it. I be thinking in dreams too. It's fucking weird. Like I still be having my own mind, and I still be thinking within the dream. So like it's hard to explain. Like that's a really weird thing. I don't know if that's like something that a lot of people experience. I'm not sure. But so she says, you pink, ain't you? And in my mind, I'm thinking, I know that she said pink, but it registered in my mind to say that she meant green in some type of way. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So when after she say that, I realize that my class is like single file walking out of the gymnasium with my teachers or some shit like that, right? And and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So after she say that, I'm like, okay, I need to leave now. Like something was just telling me that I need to leave now for some reason. Like not no fear, not no anything else. I was just like, okay, this isn't making sense, and I see that my class is leaving now, so I need to just go away and leave right now. So I start, I go and I like have to fucking filter my way through the crowd and sift through everybody in the environment and shit, catch up with my class as we're walking out. But the thing was, I was never able to catch up with my class. They got away from me in some type of way. So from my interpretation, it seemed like my class was already ahead of that class in some type of way. So I just got distracted by my own passion and my own interest, and my class began to outrun me in some type of way. It seemed like I don't know. That could be a false interpretation. That could be me looking too deep into things, but that's just what my mind is telling me right now. So, and that's how I'm feeling about it. So, but anyways, as I was like walking out and shit, there was something that stuck out to me very particularly as well. There was another class on the other side of the gymnasium to my left as I'm walking out that was like they shot fireworks up into the air. You know what I'm saying? Two fireworks specifically. Two fireworks. One went up, pop, fucking big burst of light. Boom. Another one went up, pop, big burst of light. And I can't tell you what the fuck that means. I can't tell you what the fuck that means. At this current moment in time, I can come back and watch this video and be like, oh yeah, that's what that was supposed to mean, and da 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 da. But anyways, so I'm walking out of the class. I'm walking out of the gymnasium / auditorium, and I remember walking out this hallway. And as I'm walking out this hallway, everything transformed and it start to look like Walmart now. Like it's so fucking weird. My dreams be like very fucking odd. So yeah, as I'm walking out of the gymnasium, soon as I come through the little double doors where the entrance to the gymnasium is, all of a sudden it turns into a hallway and it shifts and turn into like the exit to Walmart. You get what I'm saying, with the big sliding doors and all this type of shit. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And as I continue to walk down this hallway towards the exit, all of a sudden, the first teacher, who was the lady that I worked with at McDonald's, she started screaming at me. Now, when I first woke up, I remember what she said, but now I can't fucking remember what she said. But I do remember she was like yelling and screaming at me. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, "What the like? What's wrong with you? Da 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 da. Why you do this? Why you ain't just listen? Da 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 da. Some shit like that." And so I'm like, I'm very confused in this moment. I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, what did I really do something wrong? Like I was just trying to play some music. I was just trying to vibe to the music and shit. Like, did I really do something wrong? Why is you yelling at me? Why is you screaming at me? Why can't you just come and talk to me regular?" So as that happens, as she's yelling and screaming at me as I'm walking down the hallway, I finally make it to like the exit. You get what I'm saying? And so she like hop into a van or some shit and she skedaddle off of the scene. And as she skedaddle off of the scene, here come the other teacher, but the other teacher handled the situation completely opposite to how the first person handled the situation. The second teacher come up to me and she talked to me calmly. Once again, I remember her exact words when I first woke up, but I done fucking went downstairs, made a fucking drink, goddamn, smoked a cigarette, was watching a little bit of Mooney Mercury Baby video, and also seeing something online that correlated to the dream. That was the weirdest thing, but I'll explain that here in a second. But the second teacher, I remember very specifically, she didn't yell and scream at me. Obviously, she was clearly upset for some reason. She was upset to a certain capacity, but she wasn't yelling and screaming at me. Like she was more handling it in a calm manner. So that made a person like me be more receptive to actually what she had to say. Once again, I remember when I first woke up, but now the fuck I don't. So, you know, it is what it is at this point. But I was way more receptive to what she had to say to me because she wasn't just fucking screaming in my ear and moving off of the emotion of being mad or feeling like maybe she fucked up and wasn't able to make me listen or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So she was just calm and mannerly with it. And then I remember now. She repeated the phrase back to me that the girl from the guitar, or the bitch that was playing the goddamn giant TV remote instrument, she repeated back to me the phrase what she said. But she said what it made sense to me in my mind, how she said. She ain't say you pink. She said you act, exactly what she said to me. She said you acting green, like unexperienced or some shit like that. She's like, I know who you are, but you acting green for some type of reason. Like, why are you acting green? And she said, you know, you're not supposed to do shit like that. And then she said, you know what's going to happen now, don't you? And I was like, okay, what's going to happen now? She said, you getting moved from cell 31A to cell 31B or 34B or some shit like that. I remember it was 30 though. It had to do with the 3. It was 30 something. Like I said, that's what made me think not only is this a school, it's also a jail at the same time. Because why the fuck else would she say that? It don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Why would I be in school and have a cell? You know what I'm saying? Like that don't make no sense. But yeah. Now you gonna get moved from fucking 31A to 34B or whatever the fuck it is. And she said, you know who's in that cell and da 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 da. And I'm like, actually I don't because I just popped up into this dream. Like you fucking sitting here speaking to me like I've been living in this dream for the past 5-10 years and I just know everything about what's fucking going on in this environment and shit like that. Give me some more context clues. And when I'm thinking that, the bitch is already gone. She's done disappeared. She fucking out of the goddamn scene. She's pieced off somewhere else. And so I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like, I'm not going to get no context clues on this one, I guess. This one just on me to figure out. But, so yeah, then I walked like through the parking lot and I met up with my family. That was the weird part about it. My family was there to pick me up. Like my mom, my sisters, and my brother was there, and his dad was also there. His dad was like dropping him off. And he like hopped into the car with mom and the rest of my sisters, and they were there to pick me up. Now, what I remember from this part of the dream was I hop into the car, and whenever I hop into the car, I see a bag of Cajun shrimp in the car in the middle console or whatever. What the fuck did Cajun shrimp have to do with anything? Goddamn, your guess is as fucking good as mine. But bitch, I remember it was a bag of frozen Cajun shrimp in the middle of the motherfucking seat piece. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And as I'm looking at the Cajun shrimp, and when I sit my ass down in the car seat, that's when I wake up. Particularly know what the fuck's going on here, but another thing that made it even more weird to me was whenever I woke up, the first thing that I went and checked on, somebody had commented or liked or some shit. I think it was commented on a YouTube video that I had. So I pull up my phone first thing, and I'm looking at this comment that somebody had made. And after I look at the comment, I press the home button on YouTube to take me back to like the regular page where other people content is, not my own shit, not my channel. Thing that I see is how the weed man treats you when he think you're green. A video by MK Slat. If y'all know who MK Slat is, he's a fucking funny ass dude, a little comedian, sketch comedy type of guy. If y'all ain't seen any of his shit, you should probably go check it out. His shit is pretty fucking funny, but that's besides the point. First thing I see is how the weed man treats you when he think that you green. You get what I'm saying? So the first thing I see is what was going on whenever I was in the dream space. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't even know how the fuck that's possible. You get what like how in the fuck am I sitting here dead ass asleep in a fucking dream somewhere? Something is going on. People are saying very specific words to me and very specific shit is like popping out to me, and then I wake up, the first thing I see is that. The first thing I see is somebody being green and how you get treated when you acting like you green or they perceive you as being green. How the fuck is that even possible? Number one, but number two, now I think I'm starting to piece it together. You get what I'm saying? I think and that's why the first teacher thought that it would even be acceptable to sit there and scream at me, because I'm acting as if I'm green. So that's how she perceiving me at the moment. But the other teacher, she know that I'm not green, so she know how to approach me. But at the same time, she letting me know, why are you acting green right now? You get what I'm saying? Why are you acting unexperienced right now? So it's like, okay, I kind of see what's going on now. And I kind of see what needs to be adjusted in my life and shit. I see what this stemmed from. Now, this is personal. I don't really necessarily want to break this down on public internet means, you know what I'm saying? But I'm starting to understand now. I see why. I see the reflection from my life to what that dream is supposed to represent. It just be certain scenarios where I'm sitting here and acting naive and acting as if I'm underdeveloped or unexperienced in that realm for care, I guess. I guess that's what it is, for love or for care or for, yeah, that would really be the only time that shit ever play out for me. When people want to treat me as if I'm unexperienced because I'm acting as if I am at the moment. I'm acting green in certain situations for the sake of loving somebody or for the sake of caring about somebody. And I guess that make me not speak my mind as much and kind of just let them be a little bit more, which I don't really necessarily see there's anything wrong with that. But at the same time, it makes sense of why I get treated certain ways in certain scenarios because of that. I'm acting green. That make a lot of sense to me now. That make a hell of a lot of sense to me now. Jackie News said, I love these dream vlogs. Hey, shout out to you. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? This is just a fucking very personal thing, but at the same time, if it help anybody, you know, good on you. And then Gray Santa say what the topic is. What's up? Oh, dreams. Yeah, we just this is just the Schwetzie's dream journal space. I lost my fucking thumbnail, so I'm goddamn using my Nilo U album cover piece for the thumbnail in this video, so don't mind that. But we'll fucking find the goddamn Schwetzie's dream journal thumbnail. We'll find that motherfucker again, because I be forgetting, bro. I put shit in certain categories on my PC, and when one folder start to get like fucking overwhelmed and have like a bunch of shit in it, and my computers start to get bogged down from having too much space being taken up, I just go through there and I delete the whole fucking folder. And I be forgetting to look at the shit that I have titled in certain ways as far as shit that needs to be kept and not deleted. So that's what the issue is with that. But yeah, Schwetzie, this part for you. Just remember, that's why that first teacher thought it would be okay to yell at you. And that's also why that girl said that to you in the first place. You're acting unexperienced because, yeah, you love music, but at the same time, you are already developed in that category. Your class has already went through the music making stage and shit like that. Your class has already dealt with that. you didn't necessarily need to be over there in the music making space. You was on some other shit of, I guess, learning how to move accordingly, move properly, even if it seemed like some soldier-esque type of just listen to me because I'm the teacher type of shit. It might have appeared that way in the dream, but it's not. That's just a symbol. That's just a representation for you to realize you need to really be just listening to your own spirit at the end of the day. Like that, all these people, all these representations and these symbols, at the end of the day, that's just you, and you just teaching yourself through the dream what the fuck you need to be doing, how you need to be moving more accordingly. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily play out like, oh, you don't need to be making music in real life, or you don't need to be in certain spaces in real life. Nah, bitch, it's something else. You know what it is. Come on now. But like I said, that's why Schwetzie, that's why that teacher even thought it would be acceptable to sit there and be in your ear fucking screaming at you in the first place. But she was really the green one, because at the end of the day, what did she do? She skirted off the scene before you could even generate a response back to her. Peep game, pay attention, see what the fuck's going on. Come on now. You know what this shit is. This ain't nothing no fucking confusing or nothing that you can't figure out. You just need to breathe a little bit. Sometimes you need to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You just need to talk to yourself about it a little bit, and the answers always come. So you know, and that's why I think it was filtered through females as well, because you know the struggles that you have in that realm. You know the struggles that you have when you start to care about somebody, when you start to love a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say all women are bitches for any girls who are in here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Schwetzie know the struggles he have in those realms. When you start to fucking care about somebody, you start to fucking love somebody. You know, you be acting all green and fucking yeah, because you care too much, and you just a sweet boy at the end of the day who just want to be understood. That's all it is. That's all it is. So you know what I'm saying? You know what's going on. But the weird part about it to me is how in the fuck, how do I see that in reality first thing when I wake up? That's the part that's still a little bit confusing to me. I guess every fucking cycle is intertwined, and all this shit do come from the inside out. So I guess that's just a synchronicity at the end of the day. But and I look up at the fucking time frame, it say 333 as soon as I say that. Soon as I fucking say that shit, it say 333 on the clock. But yeah. So anyways, that's pretty much all we got for today. This is just a little sector of the dream journal space. I have missed quite a few. There might be some more that I'll bring out if I can remember them properly. The one that I had before this one, I ain't even know if I wanted to talk about that one. That one was like bloody and gory and fucking really violent and kind of scary. I didn't know if I wanted to talk about that motherfucker. There were a couple more before that too. I don't know. I didn't really fucking feel like putting it on the internet, I guess. But yeah, anyways, we out this bitch. We gonna fucking go do what we do. Y'all take it easy. Peace.